Who's in the mood for Halloween? Hey everyone, it's Cathy Zielske. Welcome back to my channel and the craft/dining room. I'm in the mood for Halloween, and today I've got a fun Halloween card project featuring some new releases from Gina K Designs. I'm always in the mood for Halloween. I'm just getting started. To see my fun projects, stick around. That card is coming up next. Here are the stamps and dies that I will be using for today's card project, and this is a really fun Halloween set. Also included is the ability to stamp an invitation to a Halloween party. So I think that's kind of fun too, with Halloween party and you're invited. I do have the coordinating dies, and they are available to purchase to cut out many of the elements in the set. For ink colors, I've got a few pulled right now. I've got some wild lilac and plum punch. I am going with a Halloween color scheme, if you will. So sweet mango, key lime, and I also have, this is wild dandelion. So an assortment. I do have some of Gina's heavy base weight, white cardstock, and I have some masking magic because I'm going to try to create, a masked hill. And of course, very important, Gina K Black Onyx, fantastic ink because a lot of these elements I'm going to be stamping in black. I'm going to use this Brutus Monroe stick and stamp mat to do my blending on a panel. It's nice because it just holds your cardstock right in place. I mean, I do a couple different things when I'm blending, but I think this is kind of fun. And I'm going to get out a piece of masking magic. Now, I keep all of my masking magic scraps in here because you never know when you're going to need like a small piece for something. And I'm just going to envision how do I do that? Oh, I'm going to go like this. Because if I'm here, right, then I don't waste as much masking magic. So we go like that, and I guess I'll just go like that. I mean, oops. Some people can freehand that. I usually need a little help. And I've got big scissors here because I think it's going to be easier to cut it nice and smooth. Like that. I'm going to release this, like that, and we're going to line that up exactly where I had it. So it is going to give me a nice little area and I'm going to save this because this then will come in right like that, and that will be my bottom if I create my lower area. Because what I want to do here is kind of create a sunset. Let's take some wild dandelion, just kind of load up my brush, make sure it's a lovely fun color, and we're just going to blend it out. Like that. Now, I fully plan on trimming my panel, but we're starting this way. I've got sweet mango. All right, let's bring in some of that orange. And I am going to overlap a little with the yellow because I want to have sort of a spooky skyline that's going to be developing here. And of course, these inks will smooth out quite a bit once I have everything down. Okay, I'm going to come back over here, just kind of blend into that. The plum punch might be very nice to have coming in at the end because it's so dark, and if you really want to deepen, you can. But we're going to come in kind of dark at the top. Okay. And I'm hoping, Gina did a video the other day where she showed what happens on a color wheel, and I'm actually going to pop a link up to that because it was super, super helpful if you ever want to work with some of Gina's inks, but not just Gina's inks. It just gave you a great understanding of how a color wheel actually works. All right. And actually, I can now hear my neighbor using power tools. That is one of the things that happens when you craft in your dining room. All right. No real soundproofing here, right? All right. Again, blending over that, darkening it up a little, and creating our spooky sky. And darkening it at the top. I don't know, should I put a little plum punch at the top? I don't think I need to. Now, of course, with the masking magic, you can save this and do this on multiple cards. So like you could stick this right on the back of your packaging and you don't have to throw it away. I'm going to stick it here for now in case I find a need for it later. But now what I want to do here is I want to pop this back down. I don't need to use all of it, but I want to use this. All right, we are going to take this off. So save that, you know, the upper piece, because now the idea here is going to be to line it up. I don't want there to be any white though. So I'm going to slightly back it off a bit and it should stick just fine. It'll definitely stick to the sides because now I want to create a dark base for this, right? It's got to be spooky. I went and grabbed Slate. This is a nice gray, and I actually do have a brush. Strangely enough, even though this has pink on it, this is from a class that I taught. And what I need to do actually here is take my little, I have the little clip set from Gina. I just never had a brush for gray, so I'm gonna pop that on. And even though it looks like pink now, we're gonna say goodbye to pink and this is going to become gray and black. So I'm gonna load up my brush here. I just wanna see what, oh yeah, that's spooky. Spooky, but not too ooky, you know? And let's bring in a dark hill like this. So I'm gonna make it really dark at the line. Well, as dark as I can get it. Okay, like that. And I purposefully overlapped just so I had no white gap here. So I'm really gonna go in dark here with the ink, like that. Really cover that up. All right. I'm gonna turn it this way just because sometimes it's easier for me to ink blend from the side, and just blend down like this. And I don't mind if this is a little lighter at the bottom. I'm just bringing it in. The fun thing about something like this is it's such an easy style of background to make, you know. Anyone could do this, right? Let's peel that and see that line. Oh yeah, that's exactly what I wanted. It's perfect. Oh, spooky hill. You know, if I wanted to, I could also come down and do one more spooky hill. So let's try that, okay? See if it will stick. Oh, it's a little, I'm getting a little on my hands. Let's do that. I don't know, I'm just feeling a little wild here. Right? Get that in there. Make sure it's all down nicely. And maybe should I come in with some black and just get a different layer? I don't know. Now I'm getting a little wild, but I'm going to do it because I think it could be kind of fun. Okay. A little black here. And you're just going to have the suggestion of a couple hills. So easy to do this. Okay. Oh, yes. What? Hello, little hills. So, you know, you could just keep going and add as many hills as you like to your panel. I probably should do, let's see. I probably should do one more layer, and I'll tell you why. Because I know I will trim some of this. I just want to make sure that I don't, there we go, that I don't, you know, muck it up. Here I'm just going to use the leftover ink on the brush to create another little dimensional layer. Like that. Just for some fun, right? Just for a little bit of, isn't that pretty? Oh, this piece I'm not going to save because there's too much ink. All right, we're going to set that aside. Next, I'm going to take the smaller of the two from Gina's Master Layouts 1. Now, this is a die set I have used a lot when I'm doing projects with Gina's products because I love the mat and how it cuts this out. So I think what I want to do is just bring this down a little bit because I still would like to see the hill, and then I can also crop out that little bit of schmutz that I got on there. So we're going to tape this into place. That's way too much tape. And we'll just tape that down. Now I'm going to angle this a little, and let's go over to the Gemini so we can cut this out. And I use the green double-sided plates taped to clear plates, and I always put the blade down into one of the plates until it has too many grooves to count, and then I flip that plate. I learned this from Jennifer McGuire, and I will link her video clip below so you can learn this technique. I now have that, and we are ready to move on. Now it's time to stamp some things here from the set. So I'm definitely stamping the big old house, right? Because that's going to be kind of the star of my show. Not sure if I'm going to use it or not, but I will pop this up. I'm going to go ahead and pick this up, and let's reposition this right in the corner. I'm just going to give this a little rub because of the manufacturer's coating. If you're ever stamping with your clear stamps and you first get them and you're like, this is stamping terribly, it's just because the process, the chemical process, leaves a coating as these stamps are being made, and your stamps get primed the more you use them. I'm bringing in the Gina K Onyx Black, which is such a good black. All right, we're going to ink you up, and this will take a few stampings because it's, you know, it's a large image, right? And you got to get ink all over it. See how it kind of pulls up? And here's another tip you can do. You can wipe it away, which also helps to prime. So let me, my little thing is a little, I need to go wet it down. So what I'm going to do here is just clean it off. Wipe this down really well. And then I'll just kind of dry it too. Kind of make sure that's off. And you could even, when you have a new stamp and it appears to not be taking the ink as well, you can also put a little, oh, this is a great trick too, I'll show you. Well, I can't find it now. You can put a little Versamark on it because that will also help it to be stickier. But now, oh yeah, that's already getting better. We'll stamp it multiple times. It'll be fine. But what I decided to do was just give the stamps a little spritz with some Ultra Clean. Give them a good little brush cleaning, which is going to help. Just sometimes your stamp may have a little more coating on it, so don't panic. It's going to be just fine. You just got to redo it. See, sometimes you just have to condition your stamp, okay? So don't panic when that happens. Just condition and stamp again. I have the coordinating dies in place, so I'm going to go cut these out. And let's pop these out. Oh, so cute. There's my bat and the fence. Now, I don't know if I'm going to use the fence yet, but I'm going to set these aside. And I'm going to go ahead and cut out a few more bats that I just stamped on some white cardstock so that I have a few more to play with. So I'll go ahead and do that, and then we'll start in on some more parts of the card. So now that I've got some of these pieces, I think I will use the fence because I actually think the fence, if I pop it up and just kind of have it running off the side, it kind of creates that level of dimension. And I've got my bats, which I'll place in a minute, but I think it will be very cute just to have Happy Halloween stamped right about there. And actually, what I can't decide is, do I want to emboss it in white or gold? I definitely want it to be offset purposefully so it's not like, oh, why didn't she center it? Because I don't think I want to center it. What would happen? No. I like it a little offset because then I can put a bat over there. So let's make sure that's lined up. I will bring this down and see. Yeah, it's not lined up. This is what you do. Then you can come here. This is a great little tip if you ever, well, let's just grab a piece of paper here and stick it underneath. You can always pick up your greeting, right? Keep the positioning in one part of it the same and just use your Misti mat to make sure, let's see, that it is going down on the card straight. Okay. Now I have primed this quite a bit. I've rubbed this until it looks a little foggy, which is actually a great tip. I didn't really do that on the other stamp, and I probably should have. Actually, I just got some powder on this, so let's get that off there. Now I am going to put more powder down. This, of course, is the anti-static powder that just lets that extra embossing slide right off. I will take some Versamark, and I'm going to ink up my stamp really well. This. And we will bring down our spooky little greeting and use our little press tool. That. Let the ink transfer. It'll be nice because I will actually be able to see it a little bit. I'm going to stamp it. Oh, my pad is looking, I wonder if this is my old pad. Huh. It's a little worse for the wear. All right. Get that in there. Like that. Looks great. Let that gold sit. Oh yeah, that's going to be great. And I think the gold will just add a nice little spooky element, but also kind of pretty. I like that. I like having the gold on there. I might be a little crooked though. Well, you know what? It's all well and good. Right, this is great because I can channel my energy in decay. Though I might need a piece of, well, I might need a lighter piece because my mat is so dark. So I'm going to bring in this background here. But we are going to take our tape, which has a sequin on it, and I hope I don't run out. I do have backup. Like that. In our best Gina K impression, those sides like that, and that. Is that right? Ooh, I think that looks pretty good. There we go. All right. So now I have this with a nice mat, and that helps to straighten out any warping. All right. Now for a card base, I think I'm going to see if I have any of the wild lilac. Look at the ink match to the cardstock. Oh, it's so good. So good. I'm so glad I had some. All right. 5.5 is where I'm going to score. Oh, let's get in line. 5.5 is where I'm going to score. That will be the back of my card, clearly. And this is 11 inches by 4.25. So let's make sure we remember. Yep. All right. All right. Now, does that need to be taped shut? I don't think so. Now, look at how fun that is with my little channeling my inner Gina K. Very proud of myself right now. Gina, I matted it in black. Sometimes when I'm live streaming, I know a lot of you will say, mat it in black, mat it in black. And I don't, but I do love the thin mat. I think it's very nice. So let's pop this down. See how the master layouts work so nicely for an A2 card. I'll pop you down. And now I have that nice little frame all around the card. Oh, with a little bit of shine. So let's grab the other elements. Time to finish the card. This is a little crooked and I'm not going to lose sleep over it, but I do want to show you something I did off camera. I restamped the house, and this is the difference between once your stamp is fully conditioned and once it's not. See the difference? It only takes a few stampings to get it to be right like that. And so when that happens to you, and it's usually stamps that have a larger surface area, don't give up. Just keep conditioning it. In fact, one of the things that I did, and I don't think you can see, I really did rub my hand over it quite a bit more to get sort of a cloudy look. And now it stamps perfectly. So I'm going to set this aside, maybe use it for something else, probably not. But here's what I think I'm going to do. I've got some foam tape on my bats. I have to figure that out. I do still want to line this friend up here. And then I'm going to have this kind of float above. I'm not going to have it bleed off. So I'm going to put some tape on the back here. We're just going to hold it on with some adhesive. Okay. And we're going to get you lined up. I want the base of the house to be about the same from side to side. And actually, while I'm at it, you know, I should have done this with my stamp. I didn't, and that's okay. That's, you know, it's Halloween. It should be wonky, right? Pushing that over a little, though, just so that this little friend also, like that. But at least now I know that's straight. Okay, pressing that down. Kind of like that. Actually, I think that's really cute. We've got a little friend coming up. That's in the belfry. Is that the belfry? What is a belfry? That's a good question. What is the belfry? All right, and we've got a friend here. Do I want him to overlap a little, or maybe just be like that? Kind of like that. You know, slightly angled like that. So bats flying up out of the thing, and we'll press. I want this. Definitely want this to be centered like that. Actually, I think that's pretty good. I usually put liquid glue, but I'm kind of rolling the dice here, kind of going a little wild. I think that is actually really cute. And see, the Happy Halloween might have been nice in white, but now as I tip it and tilt it, I kind of like it in the gold. Now I could add a little bling to it if I wanted. I mean, we're going all in here, right? Let me see if I have any gold. As I start placing sequins on, sometimes you don't want them. Sometimes you just got to know when to say when. I don't want this to happen. No. This is supposed to be spooky goodness. And you know what, my friends? That is the finished card project. But we're not done yet. I am going to do something I haven't done in a really long time. I don't think I've ever done it on my channel, and that is make a USA 2 envelope with the 123 punch board. I've used this for bigger cards, but I was recently watching my friend Bethany from Bethadilly, and I'll definitely link her video that I watched, her making a series of USA 2 envelopes, and I realized how easy it is if you want something funky, right, to take a piece of patterned paper and make an envelope. So I'm going to open up the punch board, and if I look in here for USA 2, my paper size is kind of hard to see there. Oh, no, not really. Needs to be 8 1/4 by 8 1/4. So I'm going to take a piece of old, let's see, this is Echo Park. If I can source it, I will, but this is from an older collection. This is called Haunted Forest. One side is this, and one side is this sort of gothic look, and I thought that would be fun to make an envelope. So let me go trim this down, and I'll be right back. All right, I've got my piece of cardstock. It is 8 1/4 by 8 1/4. So I'm going to open this up, and inside here, I'm not going to zoom in too closely at all. It says that the punch guide, you need to go to 3 and, let me make sure I'm reading that, 3 5/8. I figure once I do this more than one time, I'm really going to get the feel for it. I'm going to go ahead and open up the score arm or the score extender, even though you don't really need to with this particular size. Let me push all this other junk off to the side. Okay, so we line up, we pop in our paper, and we go to, A2, 3 5/8. So 3 5/8, which is right here. Then what you do, you punch, and you go into, I believe it's the inner guide, envelope score line A. Let me double check that. So it comes in here, and you're just gonna score. Okay. Oh, I just got the wrong score line. That's okay. I'm new to this. Turn it. And now there's a score line here, and what you do is you just line it up so you can feel it in there. Punch. And I am totally on the wrong score line. This is gosh. Okay, there we go. I think for me, I have to start out here. Okay, so we're going to turn, and we're going to do the same thing. Get you in there. All is not lost. Line up that score line. You can just kind of feel it. Kind of locks in there. punch, come in right there, score line A, and all the way up. Once you get it, you'll get it. I'm just not that skilled yet. All right, and again, get that score line, kind of feel it. Punch, start here on score line A. Am I in there? I think I am. Oh, I think I'm, well, no, we're fine. And go like that, right in there. Okay, so now I have all the score lines. I think maybe you can see them better on this side, but here's the fun thing. I'll pop this back in here, close it up, close this up, and on the reverse there is a little quarter punch or corner rounder, so you can round all the corners of your envelope like that. Oh, I missed it. Get in there. There we go. And coming around and punch. So now I have these nice finished edges. I think I like the idea of the stripes being on the outside and the orange being on the inside. So here's what I'm going to do. Bring this around like that. Just get the folds going. I want to make sure I have that right there. I am not perfect at this yet, but I tell you, once you start doing it and you get the feel for it, it's kind of cool. Before I glue this together, I'm going to do something that I saw Bethany do in her video, and that is just trim off a little bit of the part that pops up. And actually you can, if you want to use your paper trimmer to help you guide this for straightness, I'm just going to kind of come, maybe take off about that much. And that way it just has a more finished look when you are bringing it all up like that. I like that too. So I will put my score tape here. Like that. Put that out of there. Okay. Now that'll be fine. Okay. Give it a good burnish. And then I don't have a lot of pattern paper right now. I used to have a lot more when I was scrapbooking, but I kind of moved it out of the craft/dining room, stored it in the basement for now. So I went down to the basement and grabbed the first thing I found that looked Halloween-y to do this. But now, just bring that, right? Give that a press, bring that. And again, give that a press. And of course you could seal it with score tape or any other tape that you like. But now, bring that down. Oh, look, the lines almost line up perfectly. Oh, it's so cute. So now you have this funky envelope. And you take your card and slide it in like that. And that is going to give you a really fun, spooky package. And what I do for stuff like this is I will take label paper and use some sort of shape die to create my own label over the top. A lot of times I use Gina K dies. In fact, I'll show you. I'll just go get it and stamp it or cut it out so you can see what I'm talking about. This is my favorite die to do this. And I've done it before, but again, I don't know if I've ever done it on camera. Take a piece of label paper and let me cut that out really quickly. Oh, this is my favorite thing. Let me close this just so I can see. Then you place your label on to the best of your ability. Well, I guess I'd have to give a little room for stamps, so I think I'd have to come down here. No, I'll put it right in the middle. And a little lower for stamps. Then you can easily write your recipient. And again, that is, I hope these are still for sale. This is one of my favorite little die sets. One of the first ones I ever got when I started card making. Anyway, now you have this super cute, funky Halloween envelope for your funky Halloween card. You can find links to all of the supplies I used in today's card project below in the YouTube description box. I'd love to have you become a subscriber to my channel, and I will see you back here with another card project soon. Here are 2 more Halloween projects that you might be interested in checking out. The thumbnails below will take you to those videos, and I will see you there.